you guys some examples of ads because I think being able to see them live is going to help you get a full understanding of some good ads and some ads that need some work. That way, when if you're building them yourself or you're just trying to learn more about Facebook ads, you have visible examples. I've always been a visible learner, so let's start diving into some of these. So number one, if you ever want to look up ads for either a competitor or in a location to get examples, you can go to facebook.com/ads/library, or you could just simply Google Facebook ad library and this will come up. Once you do, you'll select your ad category for all ads, and then you can type in what you want to search. So if you're running junk removal ads and want to see different junk removal ads, select junk removal. If you want to do junk removal in your location, put that in there. If you're a contractor and want to look at different things that are offered that are similar to you that are people running ads for, you'll do that. You can do anything here: hot tub removals, shed removal, junk removal, appliance removal. Look up ads that has any of those keywords. That way you can get some examples. For now, let's start with, I'm going to do junk removal and I'm going to do Baltimore since I'm in the Baltimore area. All right. So let's take a look at some ads that are currently running that have that keyword in there. As you can see, there aren't a whole lot here. Most of them probably didn't include Baltimore or don't have Baltimore in their name. Let's take a look at a few examples and then we'll do another city. So this one here at the top, let's go into why this isn't going to be too successful of an ad. So first thing that I notice is there's really no ad copy here. So it says that they're serving Baltimore and the surrounding communities and it has their time frame. I have it blurred out here, but it has their business name as junk removal. I don't like that. I would rather have the business name. As you can see here, again, it's blurred out, but they have a flyer with their business name inside. So it's weird that they don't just have the page name that. I see a lot of ads that are just using flyers. Guys, these rarely work. You got to remember that people are on Facebook and they want to get a feel for who you are as a business. Flyers aren't really the route that you want to take on this platform. You want to have pictures of yourself and your team. You want to have pictures of your truck. You want to have before and afters. You want to have video content of you doing the work or you speaking to the customers. Those are the main components that you want to have in your ad. It's very rare that these flyer type ads will work. They may work for people who know who you are, but they rarely work for someone who has no idea about your business. And they're going to continue scrolling right past it. Their attention span, the people that you're trying to capture, is going to be about 3 seconds. All right. So you need something that really speaks to them early on and gets their attention, and then follow them through the process on the next steps. Another example here. This one here. Okay. So it's a hiring ad. I'm not going to go through hiring ads with you guys too much. Hiring ads are a lot easier on Facebook. There's a lot of people looking for work. So I won't go into too much detail there. This is a pretty good one. So I've seen this company running ads. I'm going to nitpick on this one here. So some things that I like the use of the emojis. I like to use emojis in my ads as well. I think they do help in the ad copy. And they have a couple of good things here. Tired of clutter taking over your space. So it's a good starting point. Let us work at our magic. Obviously, this is let Horton's Hauling work its magic. Our expert team specializes in this. So a couple of things that I would fix on this ad. They have some things that they can use. Here's some things that I would add in. Number one, this is all clumped together in a paragraph. You're going to want to separate that in your ad. And that's because with such a low attention span from the people reading it, you want them to be able to basically scroll through your ad in those 3 seconds and know exactly what it's talking about, what you offer, and what the next step is, right? So I would, at the top, I would have this here, and then I would separate it. So I'd say tired of clutter taking over your space, or above that, I would say, hey, Baltimore residents, or hey, Baltimore homeowners, or hey, property managers, whoever my target audience is. Then I would say tired of clutter taking over your space, or do you need junk removed with that emoji? And following that, break that down here. Another thing that I would change This says our expertise specializes in junk removal, clearing away unwanted items, leaving your space organized and clean. I would probably separate those line by line. So I would probably do our expertise specializes in the following: semicolon, space, and then emojis next to junk removal, space, clearing away unwanted items, space, leaving your space organized and clean. All right, so that could be easily digested as they're scrolling through the ad. The last thing that I would add, and one of the key things they're missing, well, there's two key things. One key thing they're missing is the next step. What's the call to action? So they should say, you can see here it says send message. So they're running a messenger ad. So they should say at the bottom, click below to send us a message to get your estimate today. Or click below and get your free estimate today. Or whatever their offer would be. It doesn't look like they have an offer attached to this ad. And the last part is the imagery. This image could have worked if they would have just did a couple different things. So I want to have good solid branding in my images. So instead of just having this truck here, I would have had this person front facing with the truck. I do like to prioritize having the trucks wrapped if I have them on there, just because it looks really good and professional. I know not everybody has that, but this person in front of the truck or this person with customers. They have a carousel ad here, so I'll look at some of the other images. Not a huge fan of this image, a lot of blank space. Probably wouldn't have used this one. And then again, sort of like a flyer, I would do away with that. It's one of those things where this really is not going to attract a lot of people. I would pivot into having this image here. And what I would do is it would be him and a customer, or his team with a customer, or them in front of the truck if it's wrapped. If not, I would just do them and customers. And if they were doing a carousel, I would do a before and after, and maybe even a video here if they wanted to do just one ad with all of it in one place. My suggestion is to separate it, because when you separate it, you can split test. So instead of having that all combined in one ad, having maybe the same ad copy with a different campaign of different images to see which one is performing the best. So you have that information. Look through a couple other ones here. It looks like this one, pretty much same ad copy. So this is all the same company here. But within the ad copy, there's some things that they should change. So I'll touch on a few. Again, we talked about having everything in clumped together in a paragraph. It's number one, I would separate a lot of this stuff. Number two, starts off with welcome to, and you have to remember, they know your name here. You don't have to establish that right away in here. I would get right to the point. Again, small attention span, get right to the point. Do you need junk removed? Do you need an old hot tub removed? Do you need a shed removed? Whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish in your ad, get right to the point. Or calling out your intended audience. Hey, Baltimore homeowners. Hey, Baltimore residents. Hey, Maryland residents. Whatever it is, okay? The other problem they have here is their call to action. It says call. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I highly, highly doubt that they're getting any calls. So on Facebook, there's a process to get the customer to that point. Most of them are not going to call right away. You're going to have to qualify them and go through a process. And I'll touch on that in future videos. But for simplicity today, just want to make it known that call campaigns rarely work on Facebook. You're usually going to run either a messenger campaign, which those are performing the best, or you would do a lead form campaign, which if you do that, just understand that you want to make it a qualified lead form campaign. That means that you're setting the exact questions in Facebook without autofill, or you're running it to a landing page that you can set the questions on. Messenger is performing the best right now, but feel free to split test between the two. Do not try and get them to call right away or do a call only campaign. That is more for Google than it is for Facebook. As you can see, some of their images, they went kind of along the same lines that I did. This truck, they have the banner here. This isn't bad, right? I get a feel for who I'm going to be working with in some of these photos. I would have done this, though. Goes back to what I said on the campaign beforehand. I would have used one of these images here, and then I would have done a before and after. And I probably would have done a video on one of these and tested them all together. But as you can see, they did multiple different campaigns, split testing these different things. I just would have rotated what they're testing. Because here you have the same image. This isn't too different. It's the truck with stuff in it. And then it's them. It looks like two people on the team or them with a customer. Not really sure. I would have thrown a before and after, and I would have done a video at least and paired it with this. But those are the adjustments that I would have made to that ad. Let's look at some other areas. So I know Atlanta is a very, very busy area in the junk removal space. Let's take a look at some of theirs. We'll wait for that to load here. All right, so let's see what we got. So first one here at the top, they have a video. Let's get that junk out. Free estimates, high desert cleanups. All right, so one of the things I want to touch on for you guys right away, hashtags. No hashtags. They don't look good. They're not useful in ads. They do nothing for you. All right, so do not add hashtags in to your ads. That's number one. This one here, I mean, clearly free estimates is their offering. This just needs more, right? I would have, let's get that junk out. Hey, Atlanta residents, space, let's get that junk out. We do the following. And then at the bottom say, looking for a free estimate, click below. Or get your free estimate today by clicking below. Something like that. Let's check out their video.
Happy Saturday to everyone. We are out here back at it again with the nut junk removal job in the high desert. Came out here to Adelanto, got all these boxes.
All right, so this video, you can tell, I mean, I'm 11 seconds in. It didn't really get to the point very quickly. You're most likely at this point going to lose any customers in. So you want to showcase very quickly what you're doing. And I would prefer it be front-facing camera. So this person actually talking into the camera. They start off the first 5 seconds are happy Saturday. First off, for most people watching this, it's not going to be Saturday. So they're going to be thrown off by that. Second is that was that immediately wastes time, right? You need to don't just waste time on things that aren't valuable for them to know. Get right to the point because you have about 3 to 5 seconds to capture them. So if you don't get to the point in that video very quickly on what it is that you're doing, what it is you're offering, they are going to scroll right by. I like the fact that they use video. They just need a better video, and that comes with practice. Some of you guys, your first couple of videos, it's going to take a few takes for you to get this. It's not as hard as you probably think it is, though. And it's not very time-consuming either. You can put together a couple of videos in a matter of 10 minutes because these are supposed to be quick. They're supposed to be 30 to 45-second clips. So with a little practice, you'll get this. If you guys have questions on it, obviously let me know. We have scripts and everything we've put together to help put these kind of videos together. That's what we do. So feel free to ask. A couple other ones. Looks like we got, because of cars, sometimes junk and junk cars pulls together, so we'll skip that. So this company here, I know you guys can't see it because it's blurred out, but this is a really good company. I've worked with these guys in the past. Let's take a look at their full ad. So this is going to be a really good example for you guys. So this is a pretty good quality ad. So let's touch on why. Number one, from the start, homeowners in Georgia. So they went into the same kind of detail that I mentioned in calling out their intended audience. Only thing that I would change, and this is nitpicking, I would have put a space to separate this next part. I'd have had a space and then said getting rid of junk, question mark. Or I'm sorry, I misread that. Go back. I would say leave that alone. Say getting rid of junk will help you take back your space. We are here to help you. I probably would have said getting rid of junk or need junk removed and then spaced out and said we'll help you get your space back or we'll help you take back your space. But that's nitpicking to say the least. But I would definitely space this out so again they can scroll it. Here we have the best trucks and trained personnel to remove the smallest to the heaviest items safely and quickly. Tap learn more below to claim a $30 voucher and a free estimate. But hurry, this offer is only valid for the first 10 people to claim this offer. So what you're looking at here, this is scarcity and urgency at play. We don't do a lot of this. We've tested it out. It can work. Feel free to test it out. The only downside to this is that if you're running this ad for a really long time, there's going to be people who are going to keep seeing it and might call your bluff on it, right? So, for example, if I saw this ad's been running since April. If I saw this ad in April and then I saw it again in June and it says, but hurry, 7 spots are left, and I see it a month later, 2 months later, I'm going to be like, okay, clearly it's BS. That's the only downside to that. But, adding urgency can help. This is a tactic that you can test out. This is a pretty good ad. I think what I would change, and again, this is nitpicking. This is a pretty good ad. Here, I would have taken out some of this. It's just a lot here. I would have spaced it out. So I'd say, at GI Hall, we have the best trusted and trained personnel. Space. We can remove anything from the smallest to the heaviest items safely and quickly. So again, so they can quickly scroll this, right? And then I would have kept this here. This is pretty good. Like the emojis, like the urgency. Not a bad ad. They're running before and after, before and after. Then this photo, I probably would have ran, they're going to do 3 campaigns, which it looks like they have. Looks like they're split testing these 2 before and afters. This one here, this is where I would have went a little bit more branding. I would have been able to have pictures of the team itself, or I would have had a video to split test. Again, this is nitpicking. This isn't bad at all. So this is a pretty good example for you guys. Again, calling out the attendant audience. I would space this out, and then they're going into detail what they do. I would have probably added a little bit more what we do here, just to give them a better feel. And then they have a clear, very clear call to action and some urgency added as well. Keep in mind, when I talk about helping people understand what you do, most of your prospective customers do not know how junk removal works. So if you can add in the kind of things you take away, even something as simple as we can take anything as small as just a love seat or handle a full property clean out. Even something as simple as that will help give them a general idea of the different scope of work that you provide. Another way that you could do this is you can focus on one area of opportunity, right? You can have an ad that's focused on just clean outs. You can have an ad that's just focused on hot tub removals or shed removals or full-on junk removal. So there's a couple different ways that you can do that. But just remember that. Don't assume that they know exactly how this works or what you do, because most of your future customers actually do not. Most of them have not heard of junk removal or understand how it works. So keep that in mind when you're writing your ads. But that's a pretty good example. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video with that one. I'll do some more of these for you guys if you enjoy it. But hopefully this gave you a good idea of a good example of some ad copy, some bad examples, and some tips on improvement if you're either doing your own ads or if you were to ever work with us for Facebook ads and needed graphic team and some other things in-house. I know some of that stuff can be challenging. The other piece of this is, keep in mind, this is just the beginning phase of it as well. The back end and qualifying the leads, I'll put a video talking about that, because that's just as important as bringing them in. So we'll discuss that in a future video. But I hope this was helpful for you guys and sort of gave you some live visible examples that you can work with.